Hi there, it's Catrin from 3Ps. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Catrin Turner. I'm a personal trainer and a neurolinguistic programmer. I'm all about mind-body connection, motivation, exercise, health. And this particular video is about what to do when you're in an exercise slump. So when I'm dealing with clients who have an exercise slump, how do I help them to get out of that and start training well again? So that's what I'm going to do within about the next 5 or 6 minutes. So it's a quick video. So let's start with what an exercise slump is. The thing to bear in mind with an exercise slump is it is simply the opposite of an exercise peak. So all forms of exercise are cyclical. So if you look at great athletes like Usain Bolt or Tim Henman, they are not at the peak of their fitness at all times. If you're a bodybuilder, you are not at peak the whole year round. All athletes go through a cycle, and in order to have a peak, you to some extent have to have a slump. So that's the first thing to say. That's not to say that I'm saying that exercise slumps are okay and they feel pretty terrible when you're in them, but it is important that you understand it's part of the process. But the next thing is, having accepted there may be exercise slumps, how do you get yourself out of them? Well, what I say to my clients and the way I help with my clients is to help them with what's called visualization. So again, if we refer back to top athletes, athletes will use visualization to improve their chances of succeeding. So at the recent Olympics, for example, most of those athletes will have spent quite a bit of time visualizing winning their medal, preferably a gold, but maybe they have visualized it, silver or bronze, depending on the strength of the competition. But I think a lot of athletes probably have visualized gold. But what they will do is they will picture in their mind winning the medal. They'll picture in their mind winning their event, whether it be a shot put, a run, a judo, whatever it may be. So why do they do that? Because when you visualize, by visualize I mean you look into the future and pretend that it's actually happening in the present. When you visualize, you create the neural pathways in your brain that make it much more likely that you will achieve that visualization. That's because it removes some of the blocks and makes the unfamiliar familiar. So as I said, visualization is simply looking forward and taking a forward event and treating it as if it's happening right now. That's all there is to it. It's nothing particularly technical. It's not voodoo in any way. It's not anything that is magical. It is simply picturing something you want to happen and then imagining it as if it's actually happening now. So with a client who's in an exercise slump, say for example they're a footballer and they're just finding they don't have the motivation to go out and play, then with a client I would normally do a closed eye relaxation. So I'd get them to sit somewhere comfortable, get them to close their eyes, and then I would get them to visualize first of all probably a happy event, a good game they played where they felt they'd done really well. I'd get them to feel that feeling, to see what they see, to hear what they hear, and particularly to feel the emotions, the feeling of success. I then get them to switch that image through to a game that they're going to play or a training session that they're going to go to, the next one, and get them to again wash themselves with those same emotions as if it was happening in the present. Now when they come out of that relaxed state, and I'm not trying to put someone to sleep, or I'm not particularly hypnotizing them, I'm simply getting them to picture it in their mind. When they then come out of that, and I would normally say to a client, right, let's bring that visualization to a close, come back to the room. Then what I would be saying to them is, now you've got those positive emotions, I want you to connect with those emotions when you go to your next training session. Now that type of technique works for any sport, any activity. So if you're not a footballer, say for example you're a weightlifter or you're a runner, for example, then the visualization clearly is going to be you being in the gym or you being out on a run. And again, I would start with an example from your past that was a very successful example where you felt really good about yourself. I'd get you to wash yourself with the sights, sounds and feelings and emotions of that session, and then I'd get you to switch to the next session you need to do and get you to think in a positive way, because the aim of the visualization is that you think about the future event in the most positive way. So rather than thinking, oh, I don't really want to go and train, you actually think about the good feelings as the training session goes well. Now you're creating new neural pathways in your brain which will make it much more likely that will happen to you when you go to your next training session. Not only will you start the training session in a more positive frame of mind, you will enjoy that session more. So that's, as a trainer, how I use visualization to help people get out of exercise slumps. As I said, all slumps will pass. It is a cyclical process, but if you use visualization, you will find your slumps will pass much more quickly. So it's well worth doing. If you have any particular comments on this or questions about your own exercise slumps or your own tricks for getting out of exercise slumps, I'd love to hear from you. You can message at the bottom of this video. You can also message us on our Facebook site. Our page is facebook.com/3Ps Media. I'll put the link up here. You can also, if you want to, if you've got particular questions or particular comments, I'd love to hear from you. You can email me at hello@3pspublishing.com. Again, I'll put the address up here. But please do click subscribe at the bottom. It'd be lovely to have you. There's loads of videos on here. There are technical videos around weightlifting, and there are also technical videos about things like NLP and visualization. There's also stuff about habit change. This site is, as the master said, it's all about you, only better. So how to make you the best you can be. So if I can help, I'd love to. It's Catrin Turner signing off from 3Ps. See you soon. Bye.